In the quiet town of Ravenswood, where the dense forest whispered secrets to those who dared to listen, lived a young boy named Tommy. His life seemed ordinary at first glance, but beneath the facade of normalcy lurked a chilling truth that would shatter his world. Tommy's mother, Emily, had remarried a man named Richard. He was charming and polite, always wearing a warm smile that hid the darkness within. At first, Tommy welcomed the idea of having a stepfather. Little did he know that Richard was harboring a horrifying secret, one that would change their lives forever. It all began with the peculiar occurrences on the nights of the full moon. Strange howls echoed through the woods, causing the residents of Ravenswood to lock their doors and draw their curtains. Tommy, however, was drawn to the mysterious calls, feeling an inexplicable connection that stirred something deep within him. As the moon waxed, Richard's behavior became increasingly erratic. His eyes glowed with an unnatural intensity, and his movements took on an unsettling grace. Tommy noticed the subtle changes but dismissed them as the quirks of a man settling into his new family. Little did he know that these signs were a precursor to the horror that awaited. One fateful night, the moon hung low in the sky, casting an eerie glow over Ravenswood. Tommy lay awake in bed, unable to ignore the unsettling energy in the air. A sudden crash echoed through the house, prompting him to investigate. Cautiously, he crept down the creaky stairs, guided by the chilling howls that seemed to call out specifically to him. The living room was bathed in moonlight, revealing a gruesome scene. There, in the midst of the chaos, stood Richard, no longer the man Tommy thought he knew. His body contorted, bones snapping and stretching, sprouting from his skin. Before Tommy's horrified eyes, Richard transformed into a massive, bloodthirsty werewolf. Frozen in terror, Tommy watched as the creature locked eyes with him. The werewolf's gaze held a hunger that sent shivers down his spine. Panic set in, and Tommy stumbled backward, desperately searching for an escape route. The werewolf, now fully transformed, let out a guttural growl, its fangs dripping with saliva. Tommy raced through the house, his heart pounding in his chest. The once familiar hallways became a maze of shadows, and every step he took seemed to echo the relentless pursuit of the beast behind him. As he burst through the front door, the moonlit night unfolded before him, revealing a nightmare that extended far beyond his imagination. The werewolf lunged at Tommy, its claws slashing through the air. With a surge of adrenaline, he narrowly dodged the attack, racing into the dense woods that had concealed the town's secrets for generations. The howls of the pursuing werewolf echoed through the trees, blending with Tommy's terrified screams. In the heart of the forest, the moonlight revealed the truth that Ravenswood had long kept hidden, a community of werewolves cursed to roam the night. As Tommy fought for survival, he discovered the dark legacy that intertwined his family with the supernatural horrors of the town. The nightmare continued, with the bloodthirsty werewolf closing in on Tommy. His once ordinary life now plunged into a world of shadows and fangs. He faced the chilling reality that his stepfather's true nature was a curse that would forever haunt his nights. Desperation gripped Tommy as he navigated the labyrinthine paths of the enchanted forest. The ancient trees seemed to whisper sinister secrets, their twisted branches casting grotesque shadows that danced menacingly around him. The chilling howls pursued him relentlessly, the sound growing louder with each passing moment. As Tommy stumbled over gnarled roots and tripped on hidden rocks, the realization dawned upon him that this curse was not confined to Richard alone. The entire town harbored the secret of the werewolf curse, and his family was but a pawn in a dark game that had spanned generations. The sinister pact made with the supernatural forces of the forest bound them all, ensnaring innocent souls in a web of lycanthropic horror. In his frantic escape, Tommy stumbled upon an ancient, dilapidated cabin hidden deep within the woods. The door, warped and creaking, opened with an ominous groan as he sought refuge inside. The air within was thick with an otherworldly presence, and the flickering candlelight revealed peculiar symbols etched into the walls, symbols that hinted at an ancient ritual that had condemned the town to this nightmarish fate. In a dusty, forgotten tome tucked away in a corner, Tommy uncovered the town's sinister history. Centuries ago, a group of villagers had struck a dark bargain with a malevolent force, gaining the power to transform into wolves under the full moon. However, the curse demanded a heavy price: their humanity. Over the years, the werewolf bloodline had silently spread, ensnaring unsuspecting souls in its grasp. With each page turned, Tommy's realization deepened. The only way to break the curse was to confront the malevolent force that held Ravenswood in its thrall. The ancient ritual, buried in the shadows of time, was the key to severing the pact and freeing the town from the clutches of the supernatural. Gathering his courage, Tommy emerged from the cabin, determined to face the werewolf that was once his stepfather. The moon hung ominously overhead, casting an ethereal glow on the clearing where the creature awaited. As the werewolf lunged at him, teeth bared, Tommy brandished an ancient talisman he had found in the cabin, a relic believed to have the power to banish the curse. The talisman emitted a blinding light, illuminating the night with an otherworldly radiance. The werewolf recoiled, its monstrous form writhing in agony. The air crackled with supernatural energy as the curse began to unravel. Shadows retreated, and the howls that once echoed through the forest grew faint. In the aftermath, Tommy stood amidst the quiet woods, the moon waning in the sky. The curse that had plagued Ravenswood for centuries was lifted, and the town was finally free from the grip of the supernatural. The once dreadful howls were replaced by the rustling of leaves, and the eerie stillness spoke of a newfound peace. As the first rays of dawn broke through the trees, Tommy looked back at the cabin, a relic of a dark past now fading into obscurity. The town's secret had been exposed, and the cursed legacy had been broken, but the scars of that haunting night would forever linger in the shadows of Ravenswood. In the days that followed, Ravenswood gradually emerged from the darkness that had gripped it for so long. The townspeople, once bound by the curse, began to rebuild their lives, their memories tainted by the surreal events that had unfolded under the malevolent gaze of the full moon. For Tommy, the ordeal left an indelible mark on his soul. Though the curse was broken, the haunting memories of his stepfather's transformation and the relentless pursuit through the haunted woods lingered in his nightmares. He couldn't shake the feeling that the supernatural forces were still watching, waiting for an opportunity to reclaim what had been lost. As time passed, Tommy became an unwilling guardian of Ravenswood's secret. The knowledge he had gained from the ancient tome and the mysterious talisman weighed heavily on his shoulders. The burden of protecting the town from any resurgence of the curse consumed him, driving him to explore the depths of the forest in search of hidden remnants of the malevolent force. However, the once enchanted woods seemed to resist his every attempt to unveil its secrets. Tommy discovered that the supernatural forces were not easily defeated, and the shadows of Ravenswood continued to harbor ancient mysteries. The townspeople, blissfully unaware of the dark history that had plagued their ancestors, went about their lives, their laughter and joy echoing through the rejuvenated town. Yet, Tommy remained vigilant, knowing that the tranquility could be shattered at any moment. The eerie calm that settled over Ravenswood was a fragile facade, and he couldn't escape the feeling that the malevolent force, though weakened, still lingered in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to strike. As the years passed, Tommy grew into a solitary figure, haunted by the burden of the town's secret. The full moon, once a source of terror, became a silent reminder of the night that changed everything. And so, Ravenswood remained suspended between the mundane and the supernatural, its secrets buried beneath layers of time, waiting for the next unwitting soul to stumble upon the dark legacy that lurked within.
Like, subscribe, and click on notifications that will allow you to stay up to date with the news and not miss videos from the channel, where there will be many more horror stories.